as well. Now I was hoping to kind of do the process while I was talking to you guys, but Trey hid my little internet device, and so I can't use the computer, so I'm gonna need my phone later to actually look up different recipes that I want to use from Gracious Pantry and whatnot. So I'm just gonna explain it as best I can, just kind of with my template. So I hope that you can kind of see this. So you can see what I do is I list my suppers, that's what we call them, suppers, some people might call it dinner, my breakfast, and then I eat 5 meals a day, so you can see that I also have then a spot for meals 2 and 3, because breakfast would be 1, and then or actually that's not right. Breakfast would be 1. Usually Shakeology is my second meal, and then 3 and 4 are the meals that are kind of in between those and supper, because I eat 5 times a day. I like to have 5 smaller meals a day. So what I do is the first thing that I plan is my suppers. Now you can see I already have meals 1 and 2 figured out. I'm a creature of habit. One thing that I guess is kind of contradicting is on the weekends I'm not. When Jesse's home on the weekends, it varies, and we don't have a very good schedule, and it's something I'm working on. But you'll see quickly, even when we start posting our meals, that you're gonna be like, oh wow, Amanda is not very on track on the weekends, but I'm working on it. That's one of the things that I have to work on, because I am not perfect and I don't claim to be. So anyway, with my meals then, my first 2 meals are pretty much already done, and that's so nice. It's so nice to kind of have a couple of those habits, those meals that you just keep consistent. You know, right away in the morning for breakfast, I have oats, and then I just drizzle them with honey. I either get old-fashioned oats or steel-cut oats, and that's one thing that you can cook at the beginning of the week and put it in your fridge and just keep reheating it throughout the week, and it's done. You don't even have to make it. And then also, of course, I then too, for my second meal, which a lot of times follows my workout because it's a great way to refuel, I do my Shakeology. And I love that as well because it's just that 1 meal a day that gets to be a no-brainer. And so I actually have 2. I have 2 that are done. I don't have to plan for them. So then, knowing that, I go on and I do my, you can see, my suppers. And I do 2 weeks at a time. Now, some of you might be able to just do 1 at a time, which would be way easier. But because of where I live 7 miles north of an itty bitty town. So I live basically out on a farm. And then the nearest town, which is about a 7-minute drive or whatever, has just a tiny, tiny grocery store. So you can imagine, first of all, I can't get produce or anything because it's usually gone bad by the time I get in there. And then also, the prices are pretty high. And so we get a few things from there just to keep him open and keep the business going. But our main shopping is done either 2 different places that are about 30 minutes away. So I have to do just for budget purposes, I have to do everything in 2 weeks. And planning ahead like this has really saved us money. I don't have to spend the gas to go there more than once. And I'm only buying things for the meals that I have planned. I'm only buying what we need. That way, you know, we're throwing less food out, especially produce. We're throwing so much less out. We're not wasting money there because let's face it, you buy 5 boxes of cereal and only, you know, eat 3/4 of them, you know, it ends up going stale and you throw that out. You might as well take cash out of your wallet and throw that into the garbage. So I'm saving money doing this as well. Okay, so what I do next is I go through and I just think of 14 different suppers that I want us to have for the next couple of weeks. By doing this, I'm making sure that we have pretty healthy meals at night, and as well as it saves me time because I already know, okay, this is what we're gonna have. pull out whatever I need, and boom, it's done. I don't really have to think about it during the day. This is great if you're working. If you already have your meals planned, you know what to pull out in the morning, you know what to do the night before. Crock-pot meals are great meals to plan if you're working. You can throw things in the crock-pot, you know, come home and boom, your supper is done. And there are so many clean eating recipes for crock-pots, especially on Gracious Pantry. You will hear me say that site a lot because it is a lifesaver. Okay, so I plan my suppers. Those are the first things. And then what I do is I plan my two middle meals throughout the day. And those are pretty small usually. But the nice thing is once I have my suppers done, I know which nights or how many nights I'm going to have leftovers. So that gets rid of a bunch of meals for me on those days. I know that's less meals that I have to plan for them because I will have leftovers. Let's say if I make some type of like casserole with like rice or whatever, or if it's a night where I'm just making brown rice with that meal, then I know that I can have that for lunch the next day because I'll just make a big batch. If it's a night where we're having some type of like chicken breast meal, I'll make extra chicken and then I'll have that for lunch the next day. So you see, that's why I do my suppers first, because it really helps with those last meals. And then what I can do for those is usually that's the time when I'll have things like my Greek yogurt, eggs. You know, I like to pre-prep eggs a lot and have those throughout the week. And that's a lot of times when I'll also have like my fruits and veggies that I buy as well. So those are the last meals that I plan. And then from there I just go and I make my grocery list. And like I said, I write down everything that we need for those meals, and we have some other things, you know, like other extra like snacks and things for Trey and Jesse's lunches throughout the week and things like that. But for the most part, once you do it several times, it gets so simple. And once you start finding meals that you really like, you know, you'll start having them more often, and so you can just jot those down right away. You know you're gonna have them, you know, okay, this is, you know, chicken, black bean and chicken salsa is a big hit in our house, and that has a lot of leftovers, so that could be 2 or 3 extra days of, you know, kind of like the lunches. So anyways, I kind of feel like I'm rambling. I hope this makes sense. Please, please, please message me and let me know if you need help doing this. I will hop on the phone in a second and help you do this, just because not only has it helped me eat healthier and stay on track with that, but it's saved us so much money on groceries. So I love passing money saving tips on to people. So definitely either you can comment below this video or you can send me a private message and just say, hey, I need you to explain this a little bit more. You know, can we hop on the phone or text or whatever and just talk about this, and can you help me kind of set up my meals for the next week or my meals for the next 2 weeks? And I will definitely do that. So some of my favorite places to go to find recipes, especially for our suppers, are Gracious Pantry, and it's just graciousPantry.com. I love this site because you can literally type in black olives and it will pull up a whole bunch of recipes that have black olives. She has different categories. She has dairy-free, gluten-free categories. You know, she'll have ones you can go to like sections to where you can pick out crock-pot ideas, casseroles, pastas, whatever. Gracious Pantry, and it's all clean eating. She is so passionate about clean eating, so every recipe that she has on there is healthy for you. And the one reason I love it too is because she'll use a lot of the same ingredients throughout recipes. So once you've bought something like a certain spice or unsweetened applesauce or something like that, because there are baking recipes on there too, so you can bake healthy. But once you've bought a certain ingredient, a lot of times if you keep using her site, you'll use that ingredient again, and then you don't have to buy that. You don't have to put that on your grocery list. So Gracious Pantry, Just Eat Real Food on Facebook, they post some good ones. I think I've tried 1 or 2 from there. I do have a Pinterest board. If you're on Pinterest, start following me, and I have a board called Healthy Recipes that I've actually